for today's topic. I think this is probably one of the most helpful topics we can speak about. All right, awesome. We are live everywhere now. Good morning. Happy Friday. Today we're talking about the law of polarity and how to understand it, how to use it to grow your sales, your business, and to just live a happier life. We've got Nancy, Mary, Jessica on Instagram. Good morning. As you're coming in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, pop a comment. Let me know you're here. And I want to know too, for those of you who are joining live right now, what are you grateful for today? It's Friday. We're kind of in that energy of completion and celebration. What are you grateful for? I personally am grateful that I've been fortunate to create a life where I can have time freedom and do things when I want for not all the time, but for the most part. And taking Jack to the aquarium after this morning, which is going to be so much fun. It's going to be his first time at the aquarium. So I'm excited. I don't know if he'll even notice what's going on or if he'll nap the whole time, but I'm excited for it. It may be more for me than for him. But what are you grateful for today? Pop it in the comments. If you're here live, I want to know. So while you're doing that, as always, I want this to be interactive. So I'm going to be teaching this morning about the law of polarity and how you can apply it to help yourself in your business and your life. But whatever questions you have, whatever comments you have, pop them in. I want to have this time together with you. Mary, you're grateful for a gorgeous sunrise. Oh man, I bet it is beautiful, especially where you are. Yeah, I love that. Let's see. Oh, we've got Lori on LinkedIn. Good morning, Eric. Good morning. So good to see you, Rita. Good afternoon. All right, my friends. So as you are sharing what you're grateful for, let's get into it today. And this is part of why I'm so excited about this is one of the things I found most helpful in my life that I really wasn't taught. I had to kind of stumble into it over the years is studying universal laws, which are just laws that govern how things work in our world. And once you learn them, then you can understand how to live in accordance with the law so that you live the type of life you want and you desire. We've got Mustafa, good afternoon. Jessica, you're grateful you get to meet your new baby nephew today. Oh, that's so fun. Congratulations. That's so much fun. Lori, I'm thankful for all I have and all I know is on its way to me. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. How many of you have studied universal laws? Let me know, give me a thumbs up in the comments or give me a yes. Give me a heart if you've done a lot of studying of universal laws or if these are a little bit newer to you. Rita, summer has arrived to Norway. Oh, I bet it's gorgeous. You better send me some photos, my friend. I need to see that. I bet it is absolutely gorgeous there. Michelle, you're saying, yes, you have studied them. Are we familiar with the law of polarity? So for those of you who have studied it, Jessica saying no. Okay, Mary, very little. So it's people make it some weird thing. It's really not. It's just like we have the law of gravity, right? Which keeps us firmly planted on the planet. We have other laws that govern how things work. If you think about it, seasons, right? So winter never follows winter. We have winter, spring, summer, fall. We have these natural seasons and rhythms. That's actually the law of rhythm. The tide comes in, the tide comes out. And the law of polarity is one that when we learn how to work with it, we can take any situation that feels really challenging and actually use it for good. And so the law of polarity, and this is a really good one to take notes on, is that everything has an opposite or two poles. And so if you think about it, there's so many examples of this: good and evil, love and hate, attraction and disconnection, hot and cold, the North and the South poles on the earth, right? When we look at even just how things are created on the planet, the earth has North and South poles that actually create a magnetic field around the earth, or a battery with negative and positive terminals. So there's so many examples of this, but what you want to know is that everything in our world has an opposite. Everything has an opposite. So how do we use this in our sales and in our life? Well, I really like to apply this one when things feel tough. So this is, to me, the best time to use this and to really dig into this is when things feel hard, things feel challenging, or they feel tough. because by the law of polarity, the size of the challenge will determine the size of the opportunity. So if you have a small challenge that you're going through, that means there's a small opportunity on the other side, which isn't a bad thing, right? We'll take a small opportunity. But a big challenge means there's a big opportunity on the other side. Are you with me there? And I shared, so what we must learn to do is learn to proactively look for it, though, because your brain will tend to go when we get too focused on what's going on outside of us, our brain will tend to go into more of that fight or flight reaction and response, and it will focus on what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. So we have to train it to proactively seek what's good in that situation. And we have to understand this. When we understand this, then we know a big challenge means a big opportunity on the other side. Nancy's saying not everything needs to be hard, for sure. And I would say we are really at choice of whether we're going to make anything feel hard or not. You know, when we have the belief system that everything is working for us, when something happens that feels hard, instead we can look at it and say, there must be something really good in this. You know, there must be something really good in this. And I've shared, I think I even shared it this week, you know, a story, I think I shared it yesterday, a story of when this was, I don't even remember now, 4 or 5 years ago, had what felt like a very big challenge in my own life, in my professional life, where I had built a very successful, lucrative career with a big sales coaching company, and then had some big upheaval within the company, and like overnight found myself no income, no clients, had to take down all my website and podcasts and everything, everything I built in that space, like went from feeling on top of the world to nothing, like that. It happened literally overnight. And that felt really hard in the moment. Like that felt really hard in the moment. And I wish I had known this too, because that would have made it a heck of a lot easier. But what I know now looking back on that was that because that felt like such a big challenge. I mean, imagine, I don't care whether you've been building your sales and your business and your brand for, 10 years or 10 weeks, but imagine suddenly it's all gone and you can't play in that space anymore. You got a non-compete. You can't play in that space anymore. That's tough. I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to get clients? What am I going to do if I can't even teach what I've been teaching anymore? And that felt really hard. But what I didn't know at the time was that there was an equivalent opportunity that had been created in that moment. And that was the opportunity to go out and actually create something on my own and create what I get to do now, which is just for me, so much better than what I was doing before. And so we have to know that when it feels like everything is falling apart, when it feels like there's a big challenge, there is an equally big opportunity on the other side. Who gets this? Give me a yes, give me a heart, give me, if you've got questions on this, type it in the comments. Let me check on LinkedIn. Lee Lambert, I'm so glad you're here, my friend. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, so we get this, right? And the other thing that I'll share too, because I serve a lot of women who have been through some amount of trauma in their lives, and it's different for everybody. But when you've been through a big trauma, that means that there's a big blessing that's also available for you. Now, what we have to do, though, is we have to be proactive. We have to be proactive. And we have to, Lori's saying your image is very fuzzy. Oh, Lori, I thank you for letting me know. I don't know. My Wi-Fi signal seems okay on my end. Hopefully it'll clear up. Hopefully it'll clear up in a minute. At least hopefully listen to the audio if that's going through okay. So if you've been through a big trauma, there is a big blessing that is also available for you to harvest. But you must proactively look for it. You've got to be willing to claim it and to say, I'm not willing to sit in the victim mode anymore. I'm not willing to just sit in suffering anymore. And I'm going to claim that blessing now. And claiming that blessing looks like deciding to harvest the good. It looks like deciding to say, wow, okay, if this really means, like, if it's true that everything is always happening for me, then what would the blessing be in this? What would that equal blessing be for me? Does that excite anyone to think about that? I see the hearts on there. I see the guesses, which I love, but who gets excited about that? You've got to be willing to look for the good and decide that you're going to do whatever it takes to harvest it. And that means, sometimes we can get addicted to suffering. We can get addicted to being in pain, especially if that's been your conditioning for so many years. That's what your brain and body feels comfortable with. So you've got to decide that you're not up for it anymore. You've got to decide that it's not worth it for you to suffer anymore, and that you're ready to claim your blessing. And there's this beautiful, I love this, this perspective. So W. Clement Stone was the editor of Success Magazine, and this incredible man took $100 that he used to invest in combined insurance. This is back in, early 1900s. Turn it into a company with over $1 billion in assets. And his habit, and I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. AJ, good morning. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. His habit was to say, no matter what was going on, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So what if you had that perspective? And what if when things felt like they were falling apart, whether it's you lost a deal or you lost a relationship, and we never really lose anything, we don't have it to start with, okay? But if something feels hard, what if you took the perspective of, that's good, that's good, no matter what it is, and you claim that, and it's whatever challenges you're up against, having that perspective. So I just want to hopefully uplift you with that this morning. Who has questions on this? Who is curious about this law of polarity? Is there a challenge that you're up against today that you're like, I don't know how to find the good in it. I don't know what that would be. I'm here to coach you. I'm here to help you if anyone has questions on that. But the most important thing is to start to study these and to know these laws and know how things work. And so, I've been finessing how the morning live streams are going to work. And, Fridays, I think, and you guys, I want feedback from you too, but my plan is on Fridays to really be focusing on universal laws, energy, like manifesting, because we've got the tactical cover now earlier in the week. And I want to work with you on this, because when we understand these universal laws and we can live in accordance with the law instead of against it, we can learn not only how to get what we want, but the journey can be fun. The journey can be beautiful. We don't have to sit in suffering. Like to Nancy's point before, not everything has to be hard. We choose whether it's going to be hard or easy for us. So I want to just affirm you on that. Molly, good morning. How are you? And that's what I've got for you today. So if you have questions, then I'm happy to answer them. If we're good, if we're complete, do we feel good with this? I'm going to assume if I don't have comments or questions coming in, that people are feeling complete with this. But take that with you. Take that law of polarity with you the rest of today, the rest of this weekend, and know that whatever feels hard, there is an equal and opposite blessing in it. And it's here now. And you just have to shift your perspective and claim it. And when you do that, my friend, that's when everything opens up. That's when we get excited again. That's when we feel inspired to go out and to do what we need to do to achieve our goals. So it was great to spend time with all of you this morning. I'm going to be heading out shortly to take little man to the aquarium. And if you were new this morning, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We go live every morning at 8:30 Eastern, every weekday morning at 8:30 Eastern to help you grow your sales and just improve your life. So much love to each of you. Wishing you a beautiful Friday. Send me a DM if you have questions on it. And I look forward to seeing many of you on Monday again, 8:30 Eastern. Take care. Bye for now.